Hello, good afternoon. Tanan, gamay pa man ta. Okay, labot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sige, sa pengan. Nana, 6. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Tanan, gamay pa man ta. Okay, labot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sige, sa pengan. Nana, 6. Hello, good afternoon. Ayan. We'll start kung meron na tayo around half, no, sa number of safety coordinators, most possibly around 18. So we are now 11 minus me, no? Wala ko ilabot sa 11. So we still have around 7. At least makabot na tayo 50%. Can somebody inform me kung okay ra ang akong audio?
Okay ra do, clear.
Ayaw, sige. Thank you.
Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Mic test. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 pa rin tayo. 4, 6, 8, 10.
Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Mic test. Mic test.
Baka probably yung uban no, nag-attend ng training na napay uban para na may procession yata ngayon for the fiesta tomorrow, no? Murag mauna ang medyo gamay rata. Anak pa usan mo ambot. Okay. Sige, so ready to 10. So clock ya to 10 na yata. Sige, mo start na lang ta. Anyway, I'm just going to share na lang. This is being recorded no sa YouTube. So if ever ako na lang i-share na lang ang link ani sa YouTube if some would like to watch no yung ating meeting for today. Kaya we have several na mga new issues no, new concerns regarding sa in IMS, particularly sa OSH. Okay. So anyway, we'll start na tayo, no? So we'll call to order, no? So at 11 p.m. we are going to start the meeting. Okay, we'll start na ko ani. Okay, before we go with our agenda, no? We'll first have our short prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Holy Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community within our agency. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that might affect the employees, management, and other stakeholders of our airport community. And continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, good afternoon. So this is the first just reminders muna, no? Kung pwede at monitor lang inyong mic. Say sometimes you might turn on your mic so we might be able to hear whatever kung hindi kailangan marinig, no? So please turn off or mute your microphone when not speaking. Please rename your label to office name, your office name and your name. Then in case na wala man tayong lectures karon, pero if in case may mga comments, clarifications, any questions can be asked after na. Okay, the meeting will be recorded sa YouTube. Actually, this is already being recorded, and after the meeting, automatic na diretso na yan. I can already share the link, no? Then attendance tayo before we start with the agenda. Roll call at first part. Okay, so ito madami tayo, no? Expected we are 38, pero I doubt we are going to go beyond 20. Okay, so kinsa may naana dire? Si Alcares, na ba? Wala pa si Alcares. Ma'am Tess, Ambray. Ma'am Tess. Mura nakita kita, ganiha. Ano sa na? Okay, Ma'am Tess, wala ka. Naman imong label, pero wala ka. Miss Claros?
Present, sir. Oh, present, Doc.
Sige, thank you. Then baka na dito ako, no? Sa Ambray Arcayan, Miss Ma'am Naomi? Wala. Sir Baguio? Lorito Baguio? Wala rin. Sir Jason Cabasa? Wala. Faith Caberte? Wala. Miss Anthony or Antoine Carbonilla? Wala. Rosario Casañares? Wala. Dina Rose Dico?
Present, Doc.
Thank you. Ryan Ermac?
Present, Doc.
Thank you. Marin Etang? Kanina kita na ako si NN. NN, nawala ka. Signal. Sir Josephus Pantunial? Wala. Okay. Sir Rodelio Fernandez? Wala. Sir Gades? Si Sir Gades, wala. Yes, si Miss Julia, no?
Yes, Doc.
Representative. Yeah, si Miss Julia Galamiton? Wala. Miss Ma'am Mary Ann Garcia? Wala rin. Si Mr. Rafael Glenn? Rafael? Wala. Si Lara Clarice Matondo? Si Lara, nakita kita kanina, no? Baka nawala na po ka.
Present.
Okay, sige, kuha ko. Miss Ina?
Doc, present, Doc. Good afternoon.
Early bird ka, no? Early bird, ikaw pa nauna na sa akin.
Ay, yeah, Doc.
Sir Nino, nakuha? Wala. Cleope, opponent, kita na ako. Bago lang. Miss Cleope?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Miss Analiza Ordaneza. Kita rin ko kanina yan. Analiza? Nawala siya yata. Wala na dito. Na dito pero hindi. Mr. Kirk Patrick, pasensya. Wala.
Doc,
Noel.
present, Doc.
Sino present? Si
Tess Ambray.
Ma'am Tess. Oh, ganiha pa. Ganiha pa natawagan mo pangalan. Anyway, sige, okay. Noted. Noel Padillo? Wala. Miss Gisa Perez?
Present, Doc.
Thank you. Mr. Edgar Piliana? Baka nasa bantayan si Sir Edgar karon. Miss Carla Marie Ponce?
Here, Doc. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Miss Ima Jean Kilantang? Wala. Sir Nick Carter Rivas is in the training karon, no? So, moving on, si Miss Rosalie Rosit. Wala. Si Sir Terso Sabihon. Wala rin. Mr. Arnel Salva. Wala rin. Sir Ramon Tito, nag-meeting na siya ng singkulan sa MAEP. Si Ma'am Luisa Toscano. Si Mr. Shanday Velasco of TED. Wala rin. Miss Grace Ann Vera sa...
Present, Doc.
Okay, thank you. Ano siya, si Shanday ne?
Yes, Doc.
Okay, ako natawag. Lalaki mo na si Grace Ann. Okay, wala si Grace Ann karon. Si Miss Ray Angeli Villahermosa. Wala. Miss Marie Wynn Villaro. Okay, wala rin. Anybody hindi ko na tawagan? Did I overlook someone dito? Baka wala dito sa listahan. Wala. Okay. Sige. I remember pala si Miss sa operations. Kisa niya. Si Riuni, no? Claros? Riuni?
Natawag na po kanina po.
Pero wala dito yata sa kanya sa listahan. I didn't remember her name being called, pero nandito siya. So is she the safety DRC siya o safety coordinator? Or both?
Safety coordinator po, Doc.
Okay. Pero wala ka dito, no? So akong i-update niyo siya. Wala ko nakita ang pangalan nandito. Anyway, sige. Thank you. Okay. Na, no? So these are the agenda, no? Atong i-take up, no? Opportunities. Ito yung regarding sa findings sa stage 1 last October 12. So we'll talk about more on the opportunity. I think some of you have attended na yung closing meeting, no? I remember na yung mga several na nag-attend na safety coordinators. So this is just parang reiteration lang, pero with the addition of the corrections, anong possible corrections. And there are some that will have a big, sabihin natin, big impact, no? Kasi we are going to change some of the forms, no? Especially yung HIRAM natin sa una, we will change it to the HIRAC na. Okay, so wala mag-separate na, magdi-divorce na yung SMS tsaka OSH na HIRAC form or HIRAM. So we will already call our HIRAM into sa OSH as HIRAC, the Hazard Identification Risk Assessment and Control. Wala tayong mitigation. Okay, so that's one of those changes. Medyo sasabihin natin may impact yan. No? Then another one is actually minor is just minor non-conformance. We'll talk about that. Then also the major non-conformance. Then the procedures and forms, yung mga bago tayong procedures that you might need to know, no? Especially in work permit. I've been going back and back in work permit kasi meron pa rin tayo ng mga contractors na lumulusot sa system natin, no? So this is just parang reminders lang sa ating mga offices na what should be done, no? In case may mga contractors coming in to work within our offices. Then safety incidents, we have actually one very major incident na siya because it caused death to a person. May mga near misses also, so that's also considered incident, no? Near misses meaning may na accident, not really accident, pero there are no walang injuries or damages that was incurred, no, during the incidents. Okay, so that's considered as near miss. And what is our next move, no? Considering sa ating stage 1 audit. So ano yung gagawin natin for the next weeks and months, no? Going forward. Okay? Sige. So yan. Pero meron pa rin akong when I was doing this, may mga topics na lumalabas sa akin sa aking mind, no? So anyway, wala yata rito. Yeah, okay. So this is yung ating, I will start with this, no? Okay, this is a big, actually I consider this as a big, no? Kasi if you can see ito yung structure natin sa ating OSH, no? So before, several months ago, we named our Occupational Health and Safety Office as the Occupational Health and Safety Committee. This is ang reason is because ang OSH doesn't have a specific office to brag, no, to say na meron kaming office na we have our own office. So instead of the office na physical office, so we just named the organization as a committee. However, medyo it becomes confusing later on kasi sa OSH, we also have what you call the OSH committee, which is what we call, and I usually, whenever I do some mga policies and guidelines, may nilalagay ko ng OSH committee. So OSH committee is the policy making body. No? That is actually part of the standard sa ating Joint Memorandum Circular number 1 of Series 2020, yung standards for the occupational health and safety standards for the public sector. So may nakalagay doon ang OSH committee, which is the policy making body. And so if you can see here, itong nasa left side of the organizational chart, these are, and those medyo may mga colors nito, ito yung these are the committee members. So you can see here, ang pinaka highest na level is with our general manager, who is also our accountable manager for OSH. So siya ang may malaki siyang influence, no? Because he or she later on in the future, baka ba kasi sabihin natin babae na po ang general manager, na siya yung mga kailangan mong support good siya, no, for OSH, because meron siya mga tasks like creation of the investigation committees, creation of the OSH committee. Siya kailangan mo ensure siya na natay mga PPEs, no? So medyo malaki yung kanyang he has a big responsibility when it comes to OSH, no? Then under him is our assistant general manager, and also our aerodrome safety manager, and also as the OSH committee chairman, okay, si Sir Glenn Napuli. And under Sir Glenn are the different na mga representatives. Ang permanent sa aton, based on the standards, ang permanent members of the committee are number 1, si Ma'am Beth Antipresto, who is the HRMD manager. And also yung secretary, ako, no, I am also as the safety officer, but I am also the secretary to the OSH committee. So kaming duha ang medyo permanent niya. Other than that, ang iba non-permanent members, except for Sir Arman, no? Si Sir Arman, although wala siya doon sa listahan sa standard na kailangan meron tayong admin manager, but it was already sabihin natin tradition, no, na even before Sir Radok, yung ating previous admin department manager, who is Sir Deramas, is already part of the OSH committee. No, OSH committee. Even pag-start sa OSH committee 2018, no, when we started our meetings with OSH committee. Okay, so nahimo na po siya permanent member, and standard na pero non-standard na siya. The other years dito sa organization sa OSH committee, we have a medical representative, si Dr. Benigno. Before we had nurses, no. When we started our OSH committee, mga nurse ang nilagay ko rito, duha ka nurses. Right now, it's doktora. Probably next year, if we have our reconstitution, it might be another nurse na po. So probably ako lang i-alternate na lang. Pero kailangan meron talaga medical representative, no, ang sa OSH committee. Then the next are itong MEMA representatives, which is also very important, no, na member, sabi natin part of the OSH committee kasi there is what you call the workers participation and consultation sa ating ISO, no, ISO 45001, and very important na itong mga workers natin are well represented. So itong MEMA representatives mayroon tayong representatives for level 1, which is Miss Hazel Katag-Katag from accounting, and for level 2 employees si Miss Waya Toscano. So silang dalawa ang may they represent the MEMA for the OSH committee. And under this, so MEMA representatives are actually part of the standard. Down sa MEMA representatives are the sectoral representatives, no? So they represent different of sabihin natin mga sectors of our organization. So it's not going to be by offices or by departments, by mga sectors na lang atong gi-mention ani. And these are what you call the non-standard po na members, no? So actually when we talk about OSH committee, walang sinasabi na ito lang ipaparepresent natin. We only need 10 people or we only need 5 people. We can go beyond, no, if we like, pero I think 10 is already sakto na para so it's not going to be very big and it's not going to be very small also. So sa mga sectors natin, we have for rescue and fire si Sir Neil Oculentissima. Then for operations, si Ms. Waya again. So she has actually two representations, no, sa MEMA and also for operations. Sa engineering, si Sir Seno, Rodino Seno. Sa security, si Sir Viviano Favorada sa TRU. And for environment, si Ms. Ma'am Gina Cane. So if you can see also ang demographics dito sa ating committee, mas marami ang under the non-managerial and konti lang ang sa managers, no? So mga sa managers, mga 3 and wakoy labot, no? And dito sa non-managers, more than 3, no, more than 5. I think 7 yata sila, no? If I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, 7 katao. Okay? So dito na po tayo sa under the safety officer, no, yung mga deputy safety officers, there are 10. So how do you what is the criteria no, for being a deputy safety officer? Number 1, they are designated, no, by office order, and number 2, they are all SO2. So later on probably we can add more people. So I think there are already several mga tao na to karon or personnel karon na they can already be part of as being deputy safety officers. Those who had COSH before, I think na dire si Lara, no? Lara, and also from the electrical division, marami rin sila, mga 4 yata sila. They all were trained for COSH or construction occupational safety and health. And paglabas niya, this is a 40-hour training course, no? And that means when they graduate from that course, they already SO2, safety officer number 2. Then the safety coordinators, so nandito tayo sa right side. So they are marami-rami rin kayo, no? And mostly they are SO1, pero may isa rito si SO2, si Nathaniel. So anyway, it's not naman ingon nato na necessary to pero it's better, no, na meron pa si Lara, no, SO2, and also SO2 Ryan Ermac. Meron pa ba? Tatlo lang. Okay, so kanang SO office safety coordinators, ang minimum criteria is just to be SO1, mas maayo, no? I think the only problem with some na wala pang SO1 or SO2 is because they are job orders, no, instead of regular. So that's the reason why na hindi pa sila SO1 or SO2. Pero if they become regular later on, then we require them to undergo SO1 or SO2 training. So minimum natin dito is sa safety coordinators is having an SO1 training. That's only mga 10-hour training for safety and health. Okay? So, moving on, opportunities na tayo or OFIs ang tawag nila sa audit world, no? So, unahin natin to, no? We're not going to deal very specific, only for some, no? Sabi ng mga 2-3 lang. Okay, unahin natin tong number 1 na OFI, no? The OSH committee and MEMA need to be included in the IMS structure. Okay? So, in-include ko na to, no? I already corrected this, no? Ito yung end result. Okay? If you can see here, meron akong oval shape. So, this is the OSH committee and the MCIAA Employees Mutual Association. Now, why is it na ang linya dito is dashed, no? Not the solid line, no? It's because MEMA is a separate na entity. So it's actually not part of the MCIAA organization, although ang kanyang mga members are MCIAA employees, no? Pero they don't have any, sabihin natin wala silang direct tawag dito, relationship sa ating management, no? So they have their own president, ang MEMA, and they have their own officers, no? So mao na akong gibutan lang as a dash line because they have a very important part of the OSH committee because number 1, they give representatives, no, as part sa OSH committee, and number 2, they also have certain mga coordinations, especially sa pag-implement na mga programs of OSH, no? Especially when we talk about mga workers welfare, like sa mga mental health, sa mga hepatitis B na mga sakit, no? Mga AIDS, no? Mga rehabilitation, etc. So very important ang MEMA. So I hope, no, in the future MEMA will try to reach out gihapon, no, sa OSH para for the welfare of our workers, especially those who are in the front line. Okay? So yan lang nag-change. Actually may change pa rito. It's an addition to it's already beyond the correction, no? Which is the medical division dito and the first aiders. Before, when we are talking about the structure sa atong OSH, wala ang kutubrata sa deputy safety tsaka sa officer safety coordinators. But there is a finding later on, makibaw mo na findings also na kailangan include ang first aiders and others, no, yung mga healthcare professional providers. So in-include ko na rito yung first aiders and the medical division. Sa first aiders, kinsa na sila, no? Actually, meron na tayong mga employees who were trained, no, by our medical division although very simple lang na seminar, 4-hour seminar plus yung CPR pa, but hopefully they have already the knowledge and the skills to do first aid when the time comes, no? It's one of those things na kaning first aid, it's one of those things na kailangan natin maalam, pero we pray that we will not do it or we will not use it, no? Pero there are certain situations na kailangan talaga may first aid. We need to do first aid. So ready lang tayo. So kaning mga nag-training na before, we will make a registry. No, we will take note who had already first aid and sino pang wala. Then later on in the future, we will inform them, no, yung kanang wala pa maka-undergo ng training to undergo training. Probably in the next year na kung wala na tayo karon sa November or December. Okay? So yan ang ating part of our OSH, IMS pala, specifically sa OSH, no? OSH committee and the MEMA. Okay, ito pang needs and expectations of interested parties to include CAAP, no, and under the statutory compliance. So we will be correcting this, no, sa IMS na to, sa IMS na needs and expectations for interested parties. Number 3, ensure to include specific hazards in the hierarchy, specifically mga so this is one of the changes atong HIRAC, no. It's not anymore hierarchy, no, HIRAC na tayo. So mag-include na tayo ng ilalagay natin before we put the specific hazards, kailangan ilagay na natin may physical ba siya, biological ba na siya, ergonomic ba na siya na hazard, is it biological, is it safety hazard, is it chemical hazard. Okay, so yun ang mga particular na categories of hazards that we're going to put, no? So yun. Okay, so yan, biological, chemical, physical, safety, ergonomic, psychosocial. Okay, kapasok natin yan sa ating hazards before we put the specific hazard. Okay, next, number 4. Need to update and include safety seal certificate. Part niya sa ating legal and other requirements. But aside from safety seal, no, I'm still going to do research on sa pailain mga legal. If you know na mga sa inyong offices or sa inyong department, if you have certain legal requirements to comply or to implement, no, because we are required to do it, then please inform me para ma-include na ako na dire sa akong legal and other requirements, specifically for safety, no, health and safety. Okay. For example ko lang yung ating, so we include also yung aerodrome certificate of SMS. So we will include that as part of our legal and other requirements. Another one is yung sa environment, no, yung ating mga wastewater discharges, permit, elevator permit, permit to operate, that's part of the mechanical and OBO kanang Office of the Building official na requirement na siya. Included gapon na sila. Number 5, ensure to define documented information in the scope of the OSH-MS. So medyo we overlooked this, no, before sa OSH manual na hindi namin na check yung mga wordings doon sa scope of the OSH, no, so we're going to correct that so later on. Pero if you want to know ano bang scope na sa akin lang to, it's not going to be official. This is just a personal perspective of what is the scope of the MCIA OSH-MS. We have actually 3 kinds of scopes, no. We have the direct responsibility, so kami gyud ang mo enforce, no, whatever is safety issues that needs to be corrected, no. So all MCIAA facilities and areas outside the project terminals, project areas and airside, like the terminals, no. And we also have coordination, especially with SMS when you talk about airside issues, no, for OSH. And the last is oversee kay meron also because na hindi naman part sa amin yung terminal because the GMCAC have their own or has their own safety. So we just oversee anong mga programs nila or what are their practices that they implement, no, sa safety.
Doc, good
Yes.
afternoon. May I, sorry to
Yes,
interrupt.
ma'am. Oh, sige, ma'am.
Kaning examples, Doc, baka to bitang mga, sakto na siya, Doc, na kanang sa oversea sa concessionaires within the airport complex na amang good to gi-raise recently ba si Ma'am Lizel sa OTS. Kay nga sila na unsa gani ka nang mag-load sa mga cargos or kanang magkuha gani sa mga cargos sa mga bagahe man siguro to
Yes, ma'am.
na ako noy uban nga walay puli-puli, mag straight gyud ba niya kapoy niya
Trabaho.
bagahe. So mo to na siya gahapon to na siya diri. Kung kinsa ko no, kung nga pwede man siguro na ma-discuss with
Sa amo.
ang atong OSH good is internal but
Yes,
kanang
ma'am.
ang mahitabo kay na may respective good nga mga OSH gid na ang other supposedly ang kanang mga other commissioners. So siguro nga to like the oversee natay mga MOA siguro Doc no nga if ever napud tay meetings kung naay mga concerns ba.
Yes, that's actually, ma'am, ang before pa we are already planning to get all the safety officers or para at least ma-identify lang namin yung anong mga companies dito sa ating mga concessionaires who have their own safety officers, no, kung meron silang safety officers. Then we'll reach out to them, possible once or twice in a year mag-meeting para kung may mga issues sila that we probably tayo as the operator can intervene, no, kung kailangan.
Okay, pareho ko no atong sa na-discuss po na ako ni namangod to si Sir Glenn po gapon ba. Then kana bitang katong sa leak sa radiation. So mo to gingon Sir Glenn nga discuss po na ako with Sir Arman. Amot na ba si Sir Arman? Kato ko no dapat ang operations pod na to ang mga people kung naa sila yung mga report sa ila didto ba. Mo ila pod ng FA report diri sa ato agyod murag sa GM ba nga mao ni mga po para documented siya para ma-take up bugani siya. Ngayon kada lang Doc ako lang input na lang ang nagtabo gapang na wa na ko ang info gapon.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. I-note na ko na sila. Okay, number 6, to include HIRAC assessment of routine, non-routine. So this another kind of medyo big change, no, sa atong form sa HIRAM or HIRAC. I always nakalimutan ko lagi HIRAC na tayo. Okay, so papakita ko sa inyo, no, where do we put that, no? So this later on we're going to introduce to you the new form. So ito yung form na yan. Then actually this is just a very simple lang, no, maglalagay lang tayong additional column dito sa after the activities, then you will just have to inform or to describe kung routine ba na siya or non-routine or emergencies na siya. Nakikita lang natin yan during emergencies, or we usually do this every day or every other day or every week, no? We consider that as a routine. And kung sometimes lang natin ginagamit to, we call that as non-routine. Okay, so yan ang sa mga activities yan. Okay, so yan lang ang ating i-change. The other one, no, ay kanina yung previous na finding, we talked about biological, chemical. So ito this is how we describe the hazards, no? So put first what kind of hazard is it? Ergonomics, then the specific hazards after. Okay, ergonomics, then what's the specific is prolonged use of computer. Okay, or ergonomics, prolonged sitting. Okay, so yan ang pag-describe sa hazard in this particular column. May question regarding this before I proceed? Wala? Okay, sige. Sige, before I go to the next, no, I'm just going to introduce to you ano yung routine and non-routine. So para at least meron kayong idea, no? So a routine is the usual things that you do, no, at a particular time. A routine is also the practice of regularly doing things in a fixed order. It could be a rule or a standard. Okay? So ano yung mga examples of a work routine? So sa mga offices, computer work, no, because if you're always in front of a computer, so typing, using a mouse, sitting, looking at the monitor, these are all routine, no, na activities. Okay, when you are dealing with other people, so mga transactions with customers, kung face-to-face ka, so that's also routine. If you advise somebody almost every day, no, or almost sabihin natin every week or for a matter of how many hours meron kayong interaction with other people like advice, planning, computation, calculation, etc., then that's considered as a routine for offices. Okay? Pero I think better pa, you need to know what is a non-routine. Okay, I think if an activity does not does not fit the criteria sa non-routine dito sa akong i-italicize, then that is possible considered as a routine na task. No? So what are non-routine work tasks? So tasks performed for the first time. So it is a non-routine. Tasks performed infrequently. So ang question dito is how infrequent is that? No? So most possibly, ang basis natin na is sabihin natin every kung gagawin mo lang yung itong task nito or activity once a month or twice a month. So hindi every day yan or sabihin natin kung every week, once a week, gawin na natin as routinary na siya. Pero more than 2 weeks na or once every 2 weeks, that's the minimum, or once every month, so that's already non-routine ang tawag na. Okay? Then tasks that have never been performed before, tasks assigned that are outside an employee's regular duties. So sabihin natin, performing other duties outside your duties that are outside your job description. Okay, kasama na yan. So that non-routine yan. Then also tasks performed differently than the documented procedure. Okay, so yan are considered as non-routine. So any activities that is not under this, you can consider that as a routine work na yan. Okay, so yan ang sa definition of routine and non-routine. So we go forward to number 7. The control of non-conforming service occupation is just regarding sa procedure, no, sa accident na hindi nalagay yung provision regarding incident accident sa procedure in the non-conforming car, yung mga corrective actions. So ilalagay lang yan. Ilalagay lang na may other than QMS, kung sa OSH na tayo, we should include also incident accident. To include incident accident in the corrective action report procedure. Okay. Review and update provision for OSH, including revision the form customer satisfaction survey. So we should include 1 or 2 questions related to OSH when we talk about customer satisfaction survey. I think this is more of the internal na siya na survey, no? It's not the ang mga external nato na mga customers, no, yung employees kasagaran na satisfaction survey. Include yun na ang atong OSH. May mga 1 or 2 questions related to that. So ating management review procedure, kailangan ma-integrate din ang OSH management review inputs during meeting. So that's number 9. Number 10, handling of the IP, interested party feedback procedure. So kailangan meron OSH gihapon na provision. So just like the customer satisfaction survey, itong IP feedback, I think is for the external customers, then kailangan napod siya yung OSH consideration. Another procedure, no, na I think is related to sa previous also na related to non-conforming yung car corrective action report procedure, to include analysis on any occurrence of incident, yung correction, root cause analysis, and corrective action. Ito sa mga emergency services, no, especially fire and medical, ensure to establish maintenance checklist of all emergency equipment. So ang importante dito, no, so if I hope meron tayo ritong taga-fire, no, that we first identify all emergency equipment, then develop a maintenance checklist of all emergency equipment. I think we only have kanang checklist lang na ano matawag doon? Preventive maintenance checklist of the emergency equipment, mga vehicles, including vehicles na to, no? It's not only kana mga equipment or machines. So, kailangan may maintenance checklist. Okay, considering number 13, considering establishing procedure for the calibration. So this is already part of our actually QMS ni siya, no? Si Sir Ramonito Singkulan, who is the one in charge for calibration of not only emergency equipment but also other equipment, no? So he needs to have a procedure kung wala pang procedure, and I hope, no, kung hopefully baka meron ng procedure. Ensure, number 14, ensure to undergo calibration again for Mr. kung searching ko lang siya na task na siya. Identify all equipment that needs to be calibrated before stage 2. Number 15, ensure to completely file maintenance plan and records of the maintenance of all emergency equipment. So kailangan meron tayong maintenance plan and also the records, no, kung kanusa or nahuman na ba ilang maintenance schedule. Number 16, ensure posting of the updated IMS policy. So actually, we already have IMS policies being, yun lang, probably nakita lang ng auditor during when they were, or when she was, si Ma'am Sherry, when she was going around, baka nakita niyo yung mga quality pang policy sa atong mga offices, no? So, ang sabot ana was, sa IMS policy, it will only be displayed those sa mga strategic areas, facilities. So we have here dito sa corporate building sa lower ground, sa upper ground floor, doon sa dapit sa may security checkpoint. Meron tayo for GenAv, meron tayo sa Firebase, meron tayo for TED, meron din po tayo sa property. Okay, so yan ang yun lang, no? Usara ka copy of IMS. Then for the offices, instead of the quality policy, we're going to change it to the SMS safety policy, because that is a very important requirement sa atong CAAP, no? Sa probably one of the findings of CAAP, no, na yung ating safety policy. Okay, number 17, need to update established OSH committee chart. Okay na to. I think I already pinakita ko na kanina, no, yung set up sa ating OSH committee to include either nurse and others. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to to identify MCI personnel who had undergone basic first aid from 2021 to 2022. Maglalagay kami ng registry niyan. We're going to list down everybody. Then most possibly every 2 years or 3 years magbabalik-balik yung training na yan, no? So para hindi malimtan. Okay, makalimot ng tao na mga after how many months lang hindi ginagawa yung skill or knowledge, no? Nawawala na yung unless you always read something regarding first aid, no? Or we go to the internet and always watch YouTube, mga first aid, maraming mga first aid doon na videos, then hopefully hindi nawawala yung knowledge and the skills. Pero if you don't do that regularly, most possibly mawawala rin yan sa inyong mind. So kailangan rin tayong i-refresh yung mga knowledge and skills in first aid. Okay? Number 18, may revisit the issued JMC number 1 S2020, yung ating standards, no? Issued by under item for the compliance of OSH requirements of the OSH standard provided by the DOLE related to trainings and seminars. 8-hour health and safety. Actually, this is the 8-hour health and safety seminar. Meron na that was supposed to be done just recently, pero yung instead of the 8-hour health and safety nahitabo, yung HR use the attendance of our IMS awareness. Okay, there should have been a health and safety seminar scheduled unta, no? And the problem was medyo ang time factor was already very short. So ang ginawa na lang, ginamit na lang yung, because most possible the audit pod, ginamit na lang yung IMS awareness attendance as part of the health and safety seminar. Pero I think we should do this, no? Pero hindi naman 8 hours, most possibly 4 hours ra gyud ang atong buhaton ani because very long pod, no? It's a very long seminar kung 4 hours. And I think meron na kaming mga we have already mga deputy safety officers who already assigned mga topics, no? So meron tayo si Miss Waya, meron siyang topic about, I forgot anong topic na yun, pero si Miss Waya, si Neil, Opelentissima, and others, no? So si Doktora, meron din siyang topic regarding health or health-related na topic. So mao na, no? So probably in the next year na yan, no? Next year na tayo magse-set up nitong health and safety seminar for all employees. Then later on, mga new employees na, yung mga new entrants, no? Yung mga new entry to the MCIA will be undergoing also health and safety seminar as part of their orientation. Okay. Number 19, ensure updating the external documents master. This is for our DRC na to, no? To the documents master list. So atong mga documents na very important na we have to have our own. Meron tayong ISO 45001 standard. It's just a booklet raman na. Then also the JMC number 1. So kailangan meron tayong parang bind na to or the folder. Then also others, no, na very important na we need to have, no, yung mga external documents na siya coming from outside. Number 20, ensure establishing documented policies related to promotion of health. Okay. Marami ito tayong documented policies, no? So we have the policies for COVID-19 interim guidelines na siya. We also have yung about ventilation. Meron tayong policies, documented policies for ventilation in offices. We also have mga policies against TB, tuberculosis. Later on, we also have updated guidelines na sa atong mandatory drug testing. No? So i-update na ako because the last guidelines for our drug testing was 2017. So most possibly we need to update na that one, no? Si GM Dikdikan pa sa una nag-sign ana. So karon naman si GM Neri, so we're going to update that. Another one is for the smoke-free guidelines. So kailangan pa i-update po natin na, or if there is diwa ko kita any guidelines regarding smoke-free. But if we have or we don't have, we're going to actually copy raman some relevant provisions doon sa guidelines from CSC. Then we make it sa atong environment, no? Sa atong situations dito sa MCIA. Okay, and others, marami pa tayong health related policies, no, that we need to update, we need to make, no? Okay. Next, number 21, ensure the complete filing of records of ISO awareness of all internal auditors. This will be verified, so very specified yun na verified during the stage 2 audit. So internal auditors, kung wala pa kayong awareness of 45,000, I think we already identified that, no? So question na lang is when they will need to undergo the awareness for ISO 45001. So kailangan meron silang certificate. If they don't have yet a certificate, then that is negative yan, no, sa atong audit. Finding na siya sa audit. Number 22, ensure the provision of basic course in occupational. This is only for the physician nurses, no? Actually, we have usa na lang ang wala pa maka-undergo ng safety training sa mga doctors, no? Sa nurses also one. Ang uban naka-undergo na sila ng occupational health. Sa nurses, they have their own occupational health for nursing. No, sa mga doctors, there is occupational medicine na training. Okay, so these are number 20. We have 22, no, na OFIs raman siya, no, pero that's still considered as sabi natin minor non-conformance. Ito yung minor non-conformance na yun And this is regarding our ano ito? Uy, hindi nalagay. Ano yung minor non-conformance natin? Ano rin, hindi na lumabas. Okay, anyway, yung minor non-conformance natin is yung atong fire safety inspection checklist. Certificate pala. So we don't have yet our fire safety inspection certificate, which is a very important piece of paper. Nga naman, kay if we don't have that, we will not have any occupancy permit. So as of now, we don't have yet an occupancy permit because we need that FSIC. And before we get an FSIC, meron very important na kailangan ma-comply sa atong taga-fire, no? Which is the fire extinguishers. Why? Bakit? Because atong fire extinguishers is not standard. Sabi ng BFP when they went here, probably last month yata, or the other month. So we found out na hindi pala standard yung ginagamit natin na, or the one we are posting or installing or mounting na sa mga fire extinguishers. So we need to buy another batch of fire extinguishers para makakuha tayo sa fire safety inspection certificate so that we can get our occupancy permit. Okay, so ang ato na lang ani is kanusa, no? Because if we cannot, sorry, this is minor non-conformance. Because if we cannot also get an FSIC, our stage 2 audit we may not be able to push through. Okay, pero there is a very good chance na ang ating stage 2 will be by December na yon. Hopefully, if we can already get our new batch of portable fire extinguishers. So nisukot man po ang BFP, yung Bureau of Fire Protection, na kahit na 50% lang ang natay ang mapalit nato karon this year, then gawalan tayo ng, sabi nila, tawag nila undertaking, or in other words, that's a promissory note na we will buy the next batch of fire extinguishers by next year. So gagawa lang sila, they can already give us that FSIC hopefully by November, and inakadugay na is December. So we can have our stage 2 audit hopefully by December, the 3rd week of December. Okay, so yan lang ang for our minor. Only one, isa lang ating minor non-conformance. And for our major non-conformance, wala tayong major non-conformance, no? That is a zero na major non-conformance. Okay? Sige. So part of the findings pala natin, no? So nauma na tayo sa mga non-conformances. We go now to one of the things na kailangan ko i-require or to comply right now is to inform everyone, especially our safety coordinators, to don't forget to do some simple lang or informal type of workplace inspection, no? Hopefully you can use this atong checklist for workplace. Most possibly, I would also like to encourage everyone karon, if you have some sabi natin complaints, no, related to our workplace inspection checklist, palihog lang, inform ko, sabihin mo, Doc, na may problema itong workplace inspection checklist mo, most possibly it's sabi natin kulang or hindi relevant sa ating general situation. So if you think na itong provision, like sabi natin lang, no, binang natin outdoor stairs made of gratings that water cannot build up on them. Sabi mo, it's not relevant man sa ato, no? Or hindi naman ginagawa or hindi naman nakikita ito sa atin. So most possibly, pwede natin kuhaon na lang siya. No? We can take that out. No? So palihuglan, I encourage everyone, no? Kung meron kayong problema dito sa ating checklist, please inform us so that we can revise if we can. No? if we can, if it's really not needed, so we can take that out. Then we can add, we can also add, no, if we like. Okay. So this is just a guide, no, itong workplace inspection checklist. This is only a guide. You don't need to use this one. Pero, if you're going to make a report regarding sa inyong inspection checklist, hopefully you can use kanang this, sabi natin guide lang yun siya, no? So, mauna. You can make a report to us based on this kaning nakikita nga dito sa ating checklist. Then, we can do a hazard reporting later on based on this. Okay, palihog lang check nyo. And hopefully you can use kanang mga checklist yung inspection nyo sa inyong areas with at least once a month, no, para at least ma-update po natin atong workplace inspection, especially if there are audits na, no? So manguta na sila, are you doing some inspections sa inyong workplace? Ito, kita lang niyo itong checklist. Yes sir, meron kayong nakasuwat po din, no? Na, okay, operational, good. Not, kung sabihin mo, tanaw mo not applicable sa inyong area, so put NA. Okay? Anything that will let somebody know na ginagawa nyo, no, at least once a month. Better twice a month, no? Pero kung hindi pwede sa inyong schedule, then once a month is already okay. Then you can report if there are any hazards or issues that you have seen during your inspection checklist. So marami pa to. It is actually 3 pages. 3 pages na siya. Okay. Sige. So hopefully you can, so again, no, encourage na you do an inspection checklist or use an inspection checklist. Okay, another one is this work permit system. So binabalik-balik ko lang to, no, na so gumawa na ako ng parang at least very simple or very understandable na sabi natin poster or flyer for our work permit system. So a definition na to ng work permit system is a systematic process used to authorize controlled work in non-standard potentially hazardous conditions. No? The process includes risk assessment. So itong risk assessment is part of the safety officer's task na siya, no? Okay. Who needs to apply for a work permit? So sino ang kailangan mag-apply for a work permit? Kailangan mga contractors, no? Actually, ang pag-apply ana moagi gyud na ang an office, no, will have to pass through the concerned engineering office or division. Na ang concerned engineering division will pass the request sa amo sa OSH para makahimo mig work permit. So request muna before doing a work permit. So we will know kung kailangan ba kung if this needs contractors. Yung i-request nyo, possibly sabihin nyo na ang kaning among kinahanglan will need a contractor for this particular na what do you call this, among request, no? So kaning contractor among nang tan-awon, among gud nang i-interviewon sila. Ano ang ilang mga, what will they do, when will they do it, how will they do it, no? So after that we will give them a work permit once na okay na, kung na satisfy namin sa ilang mga sa mga replies sa among questions. Okay, so amo lang dito yung limitation lang natin sa work permit is that we do not do a work permit in the air side, no, because they are so more or less SMS man na siya na side, and those also considered as project, no, mga projects, because they have their own way of doing kanang sa permit. Kay usually kan mga dagko na mga projects, we assume na they already underwent a very kanang sabi natin comprehensive, no, na sabi natin interview, no, sa mga regarding their project area activities, no, work activities. Okay, so dito lang sa atin yung mostly kailangan natin ng work permit dito sa ating mga facilities, no. And usually mga short term na siya, no. Very rare po makakuha tayo ng mga very long, sabihin natin more than 6 months na work activity. Usually very short na siya. So any MCIA employee who will work within any of the facilities owned by the MCIA shall perform any hazardous work, which will include any of the following: electrical works, hot works, working in confined spaces, and working at heights. So these are all considered as hazardous. That means they should get a work permit before they perform this mga trabaho nila, no? So bisag MCIA employee na siya, kailangan talaga na meron work permit na siya. In certain cases naman po na, not all cases, no? So depende na yan sa situation. Now, how do we apply? So kung meron kayong mga concerns sa inyong or request, no, for installation, servicing, fixing, repairing, maintenance of their facility, equipment, or machinery to be made by a contractor, they shall need to apply for a work job request to the concerned engineering division. For example, kung magpapalagay kayo ng shelf, pero ang di kaya ng ating civil works, pero kailangan mo agigyapan mo civil works, no? So you decided to have a contractor outside, no, outside the MCIA to do the installation, then maura gyapon make a work or job request and course it through the specific division sa engineering. So number one, ang gwapo ana is number one, the concerned engineering division will know na meron tayong contractor that will be coming in to work for a particular office. Para kung may mga, sabihin natin may mga certain concerns, no, related to the location, located to the material that they're going to work on, no. So mas makaibaw mo ng atong engineering ana. So at least kung may mga problems or before the problem becomes a problem, then at least may ang mga engineering office will already tell the contractor, wag niyong gawin to, or look for another way, or look for another method. Okay? Maintenance, fixing of an aircon, kung pananglitan na may problema sa yung aircon pero hindi kaya ng ating mechanical, go to your mechanical, to our mechanical division for proper request, no? Then pero ang inyong mga contractor na pangitaunon pa, consider padayon gyapon na siya, no? It will be the office that will be doing the canvassing, ano yung mga services and others, no? Pero they should inform the engineering office concerned, no, regarding that. Then the fixing of an electrical equipment or machine request shall be made to the electrical or ECD, no? Depende na yan sa what kind of equipment na siya or machine, and who should be the one to repair that. Okay? So yan ang that's regarding our work permit. So please lang, no, kung pananglitan meron kayong you're planning to have something or a facility being installed or fixed, no, and a contractor is needed, then go first. One of the things you're going to do is go to our engineering office kung kinsay in charge na, para at least ma-inform po sila. Okay, another itong procurement natin, no, regarding sa OSH na siya. So any purchase of items that are considered hazardous or have an impact to the health and safety of the workers or end users shall need to present a hazard identification and risk assessment prior to making a purchase request. Pero meron tayong modified form na it's not going to be our HIRAC yun na gamitin nyo, no? So I'm going to tell you later on ano yung form na yun. So what are some examples of hazardous items na kailangan natin ng HIRAC, no? Number one, yung laser devices. If you are going to purchase laser devices, especially I think very common na siya sa engineering, no? Para mag-measure na mga distances, etc. Hazardous substances like chemicals, they should, no? They should have HIRA before they purchase or make a request. Mobile vehicles, anything, cars, trucks, forklifts, etc. Machinery and plant, construction plant equipment, personal protective equipment, mga PPEs, very important. So gumawa na kami, actually we were already planning or nag-request na pala kami ng PPEs, no? Kanang among mga safety shields, safety glasses, and others, no? So we did a HIRA for that, the modified HIRA. Then also ergonomic equipments like chairs, seating, desks, etc. Custom-built equipment and also items which are identified hazardous after consultation with the users. So this is the form na gagamitin natin, no? Yung sample of an OSH procurement risk assessment form. So for example, we are going to request for a PPE, a raincoat kuno, no? So anong specifications natin kailan? It is a raincoat that will comply with the standard. So may standard siya, for example, ANSI Class 3 standard na siya. So that means na yung, actually doon sa ating pang part of our OSH, no, na requirement na if we are going to purchase anything related to health and safety, that should be standard, no? Standard yun na siya. We should not get any substandard na mga equipment. Okay, if that is a substandard, then we expect na very hazardous na siya, no? Safety vests, high visibility safety garments, that is ang standard niya is ANSI or ICEA 107, that's 2020. Okay, so if you know that there is a standard for your particular item na for purchase na the hazardous na item, then ilagay nyo dito. Kung hindi nyo naman alam, kasi for example, itong audiovisual equipment, none man po, no, if there is no standard for that. Pero kailangan upon purchasing, pag abot ng item sa inyong office, kailangan nyo i-train ang mga personnel, especially those who are going to use that particular item, no? Or upon receipt of the item, baka kailangan natin ng training or inspection and testing. So for example, itong audiovisual equipment, we need to test first that, no? We need to first test that before we completely dawat sa itong item. Okay? So, for PPEs, we don't need to inspect them actually, no? Then for some, baka may mga equipment that needs to have a license or a registration before you use that. So itong mga, for example, mga heavy equipments, no? So kailangan ang operator ng heavy equipment should have already a license, yung tinatawag na NC2, a National Certificate level 2 or class 2. Okay? So before they operate, because if they don't have that one, then that means that that is a non-conformance to the standard or to the law, actually, no, to the law of OSH. Okay, so yan ang gamitin. If you think that whatever is your item that you're going to purchase, kailangan meron tayong HIRA. Okay. So ito, hazard reporting reminder lang po to, no? So for everyone that for the protection and of the health and safety of MCI employees and other stakeholders, ako lang Ma'am Tess, ako lang i-answer lang unyan yung question, ha? So for the protection of the health and safety of MCI employees and other stakeholders, we encourage everyone to report any hazards, in particular unsafe actions by any person or unsafe conditions, whether inside facilities, on roads, or other areas of the MCI complex. This is actually a response to we have several incidents, no, related. We're going to talk about that later on. And medyo somebody already knows na these people na aksidente, particularly yung kanang grabe kayo na nangyari, no? Meron na siyang history of reckless driving or unsafe driving. So hopefully, if you see someone or if you see somebody doing something na you think that is unsafe or hazardous, no, not only to him or to her, but also to the other people surrounding them or who might be affected, no, by their actions, then always call their attention. Kung di nyo ma-call ang attention, then call the attention of the safety officer. Okay? So ano yung mga unsafe actions? So again, no, we have the reckless driving. So we need to also inform everyone, no, na ang speed limit within the airport is only up to 40 kilometers, especially sa airside, yung sa ating perimeter road, 40 kilometers, unless it is an emergency. So okay lang. Pero kung it is a normal, sabihin natin normal routine, going there, or normal lang na cruising speed, 40 kilometers is already enough, no? And using cell phones while driving or walking along crossing roads, no? Doing hazardous works, especially kung may mga construction areas dito. Especially dito, meron tayong isang construction ongoing dito sa corporate, no? Dun sa baba. The land bank is the new branch of the land bank. Okay? So meron welding, may handling of chemicals, may working at heights, no? Without proper PPE. Okay? They're doing the hazardous work without PPEs, then that is already a very non-conformance na siya for safety, no? Then using defective or improper use of equipment. Okay? These are some examples. Another one, unsafe conditions include the following: floors having debris, water, or slippery substances, blocked fire exits. Meron tayo dito karon, no? Before I saw or experience ko na may isang fire, one level dito, I think the third level, naka-close ang fire exit, yung dito sa tumoy. So hindi mo ma-open, no? So that's what you call also a block, kahit na there's nothing beside them or in front of the fire exit, pero hindi mo ma-open yun if there is an emergency, and that's considered as a block fire exit. So please, if ever na may nakita kayong ganyan or na-experience nyo, then please inform us so we can raise the issue to our building admin, no? So atong building admin si Sir Alex, no? Sir Alex Chua. Okay, inadequate or malfunctioning warning systems, unsanitary working conditions, baka noisy, mabaho, no? Or sabihin, hindi man in eyesore or ugly to see ba, mahugaw or chaotic, no? Chaotic ang area. So please inform them if you can. If they don't believe you, then tell us, no? Kami na magsasabi sa kanila. Okay, the presence of hazardous materials, including but not limited to biological and chemical hazards, and especially presence of stray animals, no? So anywhere within the airport, kung may mga stray animals, please inform. Kay kaning mga stray animals, even if they are not inside the airside, mga runway taxi, they can enter, they might enter that area, and they can potentially be a hazard to the aircraft, no? Either taxi. Yes, ma'am.
Dok, in relation basta ka ng mga stray animals, pwede po ta mag-policy nga no feeding of animals, cats, and dogs?
Yes, ma'am.
Mawala yung mga balik-balikan nila. Unless nga
Oo.
natay gate nga di sila kagawas from our area here nga mo. Kaya ang tendency malahos dito sa possibility nga makaadto sila sa airside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially kanang mga dogs. Kanang dogs dito sa one of the possible entry or exit, no, ang kanang sa stray animal dito sa atong Air Force side. So yung dun sa air military side, we cannot do anything with that unless we just tell them, no, na may mga stray animals. In other cases, yung dito sa mga perimeter fences, no? So may nakita din na daghang kayo ka ng mga open ba na buslot, could be either because of erosion, no? Because possibly na kuba na gyud or rusty na ba yung uban ka ng mga wires, no? So I think our SMS already did some corrections for that. Hopefully naman po, no? And they also reached out to meron tayong private company yata na hire, no, for the purpose of getting these stray animals, no. So nagkausap na kanina ni Sir Joel, and I think meron they are undergoing negotiation pa. Medyo mahal ang quotation ng company. Hopefully we can get a more reasonable na price for that. Okay.
Okay, Doc, thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, sige. So, ito na yung mga safety incidents, no? Particularly last October. The first is October 1. Yun, for a while. October 1 safety incident. So this is an incident involving a 26-year-old male namatay ng motor vehicle accident because of a stray dog. Okay, October 1 around 10:15 p.m. This is actually the medical report by Dr. Cabatania. No, they were on duty during that time. Sila nag-respond, so they received a call that there was a motorcycle accident with one person. So upon arrival, the patient was already lying down in supine position. That means on his back, with no helmet attached, and beside him was actually tumilapon daw ang the passenger or the driver ejected from the seat, no. So forward pa siya. Then when he ejected forward, a motorcycle was also moving with him during that time, no. So pag stop nila, so more or less beside, pero nauna siya, ejected yun siya. So kasama yung meron siyang protective helmet, pero hindi naka-strap ang helmet niya. So it went out, tangtang po, no, when he ejected from the motorcycle. And a dog, no, kasama, ito yung dog. Actually, there were two dogs daw. There were two dogs that were involved. Only one dog probably natamaan na dog, mauna namatay. There's another dog naka-escape, no. Assessment done, face covered in blood and unresponsive. No eye, motor, and verbal response. Glasgow Coma Scale 3. That's very bad, no. The higher the number of Glasgow Coma Scale, the better. Kung lower, it's bad, no. PE, moderate blood discharges from nose and ears, swollen face, head, hematoma, or yung hematoma is the bukol na siya ng dugo, no. Occipital area is the back. With fast heart rate, irregular breathing, minor abrasions. Okay, patient more likely had traumatic brain injury. Vital signs taken, first aid intervention, application of deep pressure wound dressing, bandage, high flow oxygen, cervical collar support, and stretcher na siya. Transported to the Mactan doctors, but I think he was already dead during that time. Dead on arrival na siya. Okay. Ito yung police report. Very short na to, no? Personal effort person assigned at Pag-asa checkpoint. Ay, ito ba? Yeah. Reporting a vehicular accident at Galco near Bureau of Customs inside the airport compound. Immediately undersigned traffic investigator responded to the reported incident involving a Honda motorcycle bearing the driver identified of legal age, resident of Saak, Barangay Mactan, currently working as security guard of GDS Security Agency. Okay, upon verbal inquiry to co-workers, according the driver is going to Pag-asa checkpoint where he is assigned. While on his way, he hit or bumped a stray dog that caused him to crash and suffer injuries. Okay. So yan ang kanilang police report. Meron tayong I think a progress report on this, no? Para makita nyo. So, number 2, vehicular accident near Bureau of Customs. Interview conducted. The helmet was not strapped on and was over speeding while on his way to post. Yeah, I remember na may nagsabi na he has been, what he is, ang kanyang usual kuno na driving is paspas, especially on that portion when he moves or kung iyang mag-corner na siya, no? Instead of muhinay siya, then at least makontrol pa niya ang motor. What he does is yung ginagawa ng mga racing na gaganong pa siya, yung maglilin siya towards the right, going to the right siya, maglilin siya to the right, then murag nag-racing ba. So medyo niya paspas pa yun. So that's the reason, most possibly, if he is only doing 40 kilometers per hour, most possibly hindi pa siya mamatay. He might get injuries, but he will not die, no, because of the way he drives, no. Okay. So nakabantay na kuno sila before na the way he drives, no. So I think that's already a red flag na yun na siya na kailangan when you see. That's the reason why also later on earlier sinabi ko na I encourage everyone to report any hazardous acts of unsafe acts, no, kasi because of that it might cause accident. And this is actually the second time na to nangyari sa among the GDS security, no. The first time was doon sa I think May 25 doon sa Perimeter Road na aksidente, no, ang van na tamaan doon sa poste, sa electric post na doon sa Perimeter Road sa airside. And because the driver was speeding and also most possibly it was also caused by the drinking or taking of drugs, yung drugs, yung medicine no, nakaka-cause ng drowsiness. Yung I think Tuceran or Neozep ang nainom niya that caused him to drowse, and so medyo mabilis na. But previously ko naaragod siya, somebody also reported na he's very paspas po kuno siya mo drive, no. So that's also the reason. That's also a red flag that could cause an incident later on. So, baka swerte lang uban na kapaspas pero walang nangyari, pero swerte does not mean na swerte na all the time, no. Okay? So ang ilang suggestion dito to prevent similar tragic incident to happen in the future, the office, or I think this is the PFD, will request the City of Lapu-Lapu dog pound section to conduct clearing operation, particularly at MCI Cargo where several dogs were sighted. The problem here is we have to also consider or identify asa gikan dogs, no. If it's not coming from the inside yung mga buildings dito sa cargo, it might be coming from the MEPSA part of the kaning sa MEPSA na side, or it could be somewhere else like sa mga communities. Okay, sa mga barangay. Okay. Okay, so this the picture ni siya gikan sa usa ka PFD na share lang to sa group chat. Is the Galco ni siya. Okay, pag-asa incident na siya. There are actually 2 nangyari, no? Dalawa at within 8 hours there were 2 accidents happened. And the first is during the evening. Medyo may problema lang sa dates, no, kasi may isa nakalagay October 7, the other one is October 8. Pero either or, doon naman sila, no? So natamaan, may isa dito may tinamaan yung barrier, no? Actually the first and the second also incident, both of them hit the barrier dito sa Pag-asa. And the one of the possible cause of the incident was they were under the influence of alcohol during that time. So on siya. So actually these are what we call near misses, no? Hindi man masyadong na wala naman, there were injuries pero very minor injuries na din siya. So another one. Yeah, this one is dalawang persons pero isa lang ang medyo may nagka-injured. Okay. And the last one, the last issue na ako ipakita ninyo, no, is this one. Okay, corporate dito sa corporate entrance or exit incidents, no. Number one is the issues. Number one, there could be a collision risk, no, because this is a blind. If you can see the number one dito na picture, blind na siya na corner, no, both sides. Dito sa number 2, ang blind dito yung sa left side, no. Number 3, ang blind dito is the right side, and number 4, the blind here is the one pababa, no, parking area. So everything here is blind. Okay, so ang ating corrective action dito is to install convex mirror, and we are already undergoing processing on the purchasing na requesting na for a convex mirror. Actually, we are going to think to look for 4 na convex mirrors, no, just to correct this issue of collision. Okay, and the other ones is slippery road. So this was just by accident lang na alam ko na there were already several na incidents happen na every time kuno na kung wet ang area dito, wet ang ground ani, nag-i-slide daw yung mga motor. I think one of the possible dito na cause of nag-i-slide ang mga motors passing here, especially dito going to the entrance part or the exit part of the road here, before the main road, is because medyo paspas po sila mo dagan. So I think one of the things that we need to do, to just a reminder lang sa atong mga motorcycle drivers na be careful when traversing this area. So one of the things we're going to do is to install kaning mga signages, no, slippery when wet signages. So I think meron dito sa number 1 dito sa area dito sa wall, no, maglalagay tayo ng signage dito sa number 3, possibly dito sa wall dito, and number 4 di na kailangan sa number 4 kay more or less the same naman sila, no, the same area. So kana lang. And also number 2 pala dito sa most possibly dito rin sa left side na yung kanang wall diha, no, slippery when no, not this one. Dito pala sa side sa generator, sa house, generator house. Diyan may sa wall diyan maglagay before you enter the corporate itong road, no, going up, meron lang nakalagay diyan now slippery when wet signage. Okay, so most possibly tulok signages ay ibutang diha. Okay, sige. So what's next for us, no, for our IMS, no? So sa IMS quality, so we're going to prepare na lang for stage 2 audit, no? So ang tentative date, hopefully meron na tayong mga ma-comply na natin yung ating FSIC, yung kanang Fire Safety Inspections and Certificate. So kung meron na tayo, most possibly ang atong stage 2 will be on December 14 and 15, 2022. So kaya yung November na schedule, wala na. It's not going to push through, no? So i-reschedule na yan for December. And for the IMS OSH part, so we are going to do some corrections na dun sa mga findings na I presented kanina. Then we also wait for the issuance of the Fire Safety Inspection Certificate. Then hopefully, kung meron tayo niyan, then we push through with the December 14. But if in case, so sabihin natin, gawin lang natin 5% chance na baka hindi mangyayari yung FSIC na lalabas yan by December, then binibigyan tayo ng 3 months grace period from yung stage 1 na audit up to January. We are given a 3-month grace period. We will comply with the non-conformance, yung minor non-conformance, para makakuha tag stage 2. But if we cannot do that because of whatever reason, hindi nakuha natin yung mga hindi natin na-comply, then after January, after January na nangyari yun, we will go back to stage 1. So hopefully, hindi na tayo we won't go to that 5% no, na risk. Okay? But one of the things that we're going to do by November is we're going to visit your offices one by one, and we're going to check especially your OSH ninyo, yung mga OTPs, yung mga HIRA ninyo, atong among tanawon na also your kaning mga procedures nyo, kung hopefully may mga OSH related na activities dyan or OSH related provisions, no? So we're going to check on that. We're going to visit your office, and hopefully we can revise or update natin yung mga forms ninyo, especially when we talk about the OSH, no, so OSH provisions. So I am thinking that we're going to start on the 5th floor. So all offices within 1 week, we will visit the offices there within the week, the first week. Then next is the 4th floor, then the 3rd floor, then the 2nd floor. Then hopefully by December, baka matatapos na natin lahat yung office visit. Then hopefully, okay na yung ating mga documents during that time. So that is the plan that we're going to do, no? Para at least maalam po namo on our part, we know kung sa yung mga deficiencies that needs to be corrected sa inyong offices. Okay? So wala na yung atong, okay, so reminder na lang sa atin to, no, probably in the future or probably next year, no, we're going to do a program called the See Something, Say Something, and Do Something. So this is just parang a reminder to us that in case if you see a hazardous situation or hazardous na action, no, so if you see something, you tell us or you tell somebody. And if you can do something. If you cannot, if you want to correct it immediately, mas maayo. If you cannot correct it because of some restraints imong capacity, then you tell us. So we're going to do. We'll try to do something, not to correct that. Okay. So see something, say something, do something for safety to, no? For safety and health. Okay. Sige. So, ako lang i-answer na. May question po, no, dire sa chat box natin. There is a question, Doc, by Ma'am Tess, no? Sa this October ta mag-start prepare for work inspection. As soon as possible, kung pwede gusto nyo mag-inspection check, workplace inspection anytime, no? But you can start early. So you can start now or this month, no? Okay ra. Okay. What else? Yun lang, no? Only one question. Any other question or comments regarding sa atong mga HIRA nato, office visits? Possibly, I'm going to inform na lang mga offices at least 1 day before to prepare their mga documents nyo para once we go there to your office, at least prepared na, ma-check na natin tayo yung mga. Okay, one of the things nakita namin is na yung mga procedures na hindi kayo klaro. Hindi kayo, if you try to step by step mo yun, murag vague kaayo, no? Vague ang procedure. So kailangan natin tanaw nato na, then we try to correct it if we can. No? Okay? Sige. So, ilan tayo karon, no? We are 22 participants. Okay na yun. Any questions? Teka. Operations. No questions? Wala kayong questions or any comments? Okay, sige. So if there are no questions or comments or issues, so again, no, reminder lang, if you see something, you say something. Tell us, no. If you cannot correct it by yourself, then you also tell us. So we'll be the one to try to correct, no? Kung di mo kaya o di nyo kaya yung issue. Okay, then ato na lang is atong attendance na lang, if I can have everyone open their video, no, para makita natin.
Nakita na una nga ni.
Palihog ang uban, dagang pa kayo. Ang uban, kaning si N, okay na ka? Yes. Yuni, Ma'am Ann, Annalisa, Ma'am Tess, Malvin, Ma'am Delia, si Tirso, and engineering, kisa may engineering? Si Faith ne? Okay, for our attendance, no? Sige. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, guys, tayo pang akong na. 3. Kajat, sorry. Sa'yo pa akong mga himog. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Sige, another one. One more. Okay, thank you. So wala na kayong mga questions regarding.
Thank you. Thank you, Doc.
Yes, salamat.
Thank you, Doc.
Salamat.
Yes, I'm done. No man na yun, Doc.